Thanks for joining us in our dog training video today. This is the first lesson, and we are going to focus on the human part of the equation in this lesson. Dog training should be really simple, and it should be fun. And really, if you just have some tools in your toolkit, it makes it easy to do so. There are so many dogs in shelters, in rescues, that get turned in because they don't have manners, because they haven't been taught. And my hope is that by making it easy to train your dog, that we can reduce the number of that happening. So again, we're going to focus on the human part of this equation first. Let me tell you a little bit about dogs. Dogs are perfect at being dogs. What they're not perfect at when they're born is knowing what us humans want. To them, it doesn't matter where they go to the bathroom. They piddle and poop when they need to, where they need to. So they have to be taught that they need to go outside and go in a certain part of the yard. They don't know what the word sit means. They don't speak English, okay? So they don't know that that means put your fanny on the floor. But they can certainly learn every single thing that you want to teach them. So again, we're going to start with the human part first. The big thing about humans that they have to learn is to be really, really generous with their treats. They need to work on their timing just a little bit so that we can reward at the right time. And they need to be consistent in what they're teaching. So all behaviors have one thing in common. They have an on switch, they have an off switch. And there's 5 parts to teaching every behavior. So the first is that on switch, and that is the cue. Then we get the behavior, we mark it, reward it, and then there's the off switch, which is a release. So the on switch would be the word sit, or the hand signal for sit. You would get the behavior, which is your dog putting his fanny on the floor. You would mark it. That can be a clicker, or it can be the word yes. I teach both. I'm going to use yes in most of my videos. Then you reward heavily. And when you're all done, you release your dog with a release word. So we're going to work on each one of those parts here with the human first, and then we'll teach the dog what those pieces mean and how to learn. Okay, so Natalie, I need to know what your release word would be.
Done.
Done. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is work on Natalie's timing. And to do that, I'm just going to play with the toy here for a second. What I'm going to ask Natalie to do is when I'm going to toss this toy from this hand to this hand. When the toy is in the middle, I want Natalie to say yes. That's the behavior I want her to mark. So we're working on her timing. Not here, right there. Ready? Good. Speak up a little. Again.
Yes.
Good. One more time.
Yes.
Good. All right, I'm going to drop this toy from here and let it fall on the floor. When it hits the plane of my hand, I want you to say yes. Not here, right there.
Yes.
Good. Sorry, sweetie. Good. Okay, one more time.
Yes.
Okay, so let me show you how this might work in the real world. Natalie, how you doing?
Good.
Yes, that's the behavior I wanted. I didn't want her to wave at me. I wanted to mark the behavior that I was looking for. Okay, so that first one is timing. The second one that's really important is actually how you give treats, okay? I carry treats on me. They're in my pocket. They're in my coat pocket. They're everywhere on me. I don't want my dogs to focus on my treats. So for the most part, when I'm training, I have them behind my back to start with. So this is the way the sequence will be. When you get the behavior you want, you're going to say yes, and then you will give a treat. There will be a pause there. So if I got the behavior, I'd say yes, treat. Okay, so stand up with me. All right, so this is how it will work. When I say ready, you will respond with yes, and then you will bring that treat out behind your back as if you're going to give it to your dog. Okay? Ready?
Yes.
Yes. Treat. Good, let's do it again. Ready?
Yes.
Yes. Treat. One more time. Ready?
Yes.
Treat. Okay, so the other thing I just need to make people aware of, if you have a big dog, you're treating right here because this is where their face is. If you got a little dog, they're down here. And when you give treats, when you're training, you are going to get those treats right to your dog's mouth. So if your dog is here, it's right here. If your dog is here, you're going to get down here and give them just like that. Okay, you ready? All right. Natalie has her pieces. So now we are going to teach the dog that the word yes has meaning and that the word done has meaning, because they don't know. We are doing this in real time. This is Camilla. She has no idea what we're doing here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to call her name. And the only thing that we are looking for is for her to either cock an ear, turn her head, anything to acknowledge that she heard me speaking to her and that I did call her name. I don't expect her to come to me. Her name doesn't mean come. I just want her to acknowledge. You know, the reason that that's so important is if I have a pack of dogs, if she's across the street, if I need to get her attention, when I call her name, I need her to at least listen to me so I know she knows I'm talking to her. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to call her name. I'm going to wait for her to respond in any way. I'm going to say yes, give her a treat. I'm going to do that a few times, and then I'm going to release her by saying done and walk away. Okay, I need her to not be focused on me, so as soon as she's not looking at me, I am going to call her name. Camilla, yes, very nice, sweetheart. Distract her. Camilla, yes, look at you. Good girl. Distract her. Camilla, yes, nicely done. Good girl. Done? Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Natalie. Here you go. Got treats? All right. So you are only going to call her name once. I don't want dogs to learn that they can ignore me for the first 5 times I call them. I want them to respond the first time I call. If she doesn't turn and look at you, I want you to clap your hands. I want you to sing song, pop, pop, anything to get her attention. Okay? When you're ready.
Camilla, yes.
Good job.
Good girl.
Let her finish that treat. Hey, pup. Puppy. Pup, pup.
Camilla, yes.
Nice. Do it one more time, and when I say release, I want you to say done and walk away. Puppy. I won't call her name. I just want to distract her. Hey, you. Hey. Anytime she's not looking at you.
Camilla, yes.
Good. Release her.
Done.
Walk away. Good. Come on back. Is she afraid of squeaky toys?
No.
Okay. We're going to do it again. Pop, pop.
Squeak the toy. Camilla.
Smooch to her. Yes. Good. And when you call her, I want it to be sweet. You aren't yelling at her.
Okay.
Okay? If you want to make those treats a little smaller so it doesn't take her so long to chew. Little tiny ones. Pop, pop. Hey, you. Go ahead and call it.
Camilla.
Puppy.
Yes.
Good. Let's see if I can distract her one more time. Pop, pop. Pop, pop. Pop, pop. Call her.
Camilla, yes.
Perfect. Release her.
Okay, done.
Walk away. Nice. Okay, so what's happening here is that Camilla is learning that her name means pay attention. She's learning that the yes is followed by a reward. And she's learning that done means we're all done with this behavior for right now. So one other piece that's really, really important there is we have a contract with our dog. If you are going to mark the behavior with a yes, you are going to give a treat. No matter what, it is 1 for 1, 100% of the time. Even if you mark the wrong behavior, so what? Your dog might be a little confused, but that's our contract. If I say yes, you get a treat. Always, okay? So this is how I practice. I call this kitchen training. That's where we're at right now. You're going to practice this 2 or 3 times a day, maybe a minute at a time, until you are seeing that 80% of the time, as soon as you call your dog's name, they turn around and pay attention. Takes on average 50 repetitions to learn a behavior. For some behaviors, it could be 10, it could be 80. Depends on the dog, depends on the behavior and what's easy for them. So This will take you a couple days. This is step one. Your dog's learning how to learn. They know what the word yes means, and we are going to use that for every single behavior we teach from this point on. And thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for the next part.